One of the many laws taught in this week's Parsha Mishpatim is the prohibition of mistreating the stranger or immigrant. In chapter 22, verse 20, the Torah declares, "V'ger lo soneh v'lo silchatzenu, ki gerim hayisem be'eretz Mitzrayim." And you shall not mistreat a stranger, nor shall you oppress him, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. The commentaries ask why the double language of mistreat and then oppress. And they answer that the former is teaching verbal abuse or mistreatment, while the latter is referring to financial abuse or mistreatment. But God goes one step further and gives us a reason for this mitzvah. For you were strangers in the land of Egypt. In English, there is the famous saying, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. But way before this phrase was coined in the 1600s, the Talmud in Tractate Megillah, page 59b, had a teaching that went like this: Mum shebecha al tomar lachaverecha. Do not reproach your neighbor with a fault that is also your own. As Jews, we know what it means to be strangers in a foreign land, and it is therefore incumbent upon us to be extra sensitive to others who find themselves in a similar situation to our forebearers. All of us in this land emanate from strangers. There is simply no place to taunt or to be rude to the new immigrant. If you look up the word stranger in the dictionary, you will find its definition as a person whom one does not know or with whom one is not familiar. When a person's Weltanschauung is diametrically opposed to mine or my social group, when a person is of a completely different political persuasion than I and my social group, then they can also be referred to as a stranger to me. When we don't have anything in common, we don't know each other in the real connection sense of the word. When Adam was intimate with Eve, the Torah uses the word knew. V'ha'adam yada es Chava, and Adam knew Eve. For knowing someone is much deeper than just being aware of their existence. Knowing means to have some type of a connection with them. And here too we are reminded not to taunt this type of stranger verbally or in any other way. Our country is divided. There are a lot of different ideas out there as for the best path forward, some more radical than others. This week's Parsha shares with us this mitzvah, which has two ideas that we can all learn from and implement to enhance the way forward. And they are, never taunt a stranger, and we must stop the hypocrisy. And in God's infinite wisdom, it may very well be that one actually inevitably leads to the other. In addition to the regular Torah portion that we read this week, it's one of those very rare times that we take out of the ark another two Torahs. One additional Torah for Rosh Chodesh and a third Torah for Parshas Shkolim. In the section of Shkolim we read how every male between the ages of 20 and 60 was obligated to give a half shekel coin to the community fund. You couldn't give more and you couldn't give less. Only a half shekel coin would be accepted. The Hasidic masters explained the reason for this was to teach all the Jews that regardless of one's position of power, wealth, or influence, they are only a half. In order for one to be complete, one needs to combine with another person. True, we may not agree and see eye to eye on everything, or perhaps even anything. But if I really believe in God, then the way forward is not through taunting and demeaning, but rather it's through honest debate and showing the light and wisdom that I firmly believe in. That's the only way to win over another half shekel who is a stranger to me. And this combination will complete the two of us. If we can treat the stranger with extra sensitivity, knowing that we are descendants of strangers ourselves, if we can look to combine our total value, which is only a half, with another's, we will improve our lives and the lives of all of those with whom we come into contact. Have a good Shabbos. Mishenichnas Adar Marbin Besimcha.